Hey everyone, Pastor Tim here. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly update. And as always, if you want to get in touch, email us info@mercychurchnh.com. Once again, info@mercychurchnh.com is how you can get in touch with us. And as always, we're going to talk about loving God, loving others, and making disciples. So every week we talk about those three things. Loving God is about us growing our relationship with God. And so I want you to spend some time thinking this week about this question: what is the mission of the church? Why does the church exist? Now, you may hear that and say, well, I already know, but I want you to really think about it. Do you have clarity? So if somebody said, why is your church around? Why do churches exist at all? How would you answer that question? We're going to spend the next handful of weeks digging into what is the mission of the church and what does it look like when the church lives out that mission. So give that some thought and prayer this week. What's the mission of the church? Now, secondly, we're going to talk about loving others. That's about serving others and caring for others. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who brought in winter clothing for the Operation Blessing collection. Had a huge response. We had people hauling clothes out in the middle of the service because there was so much that had come in and we wanted to get a head start on getting it over to Operation Blessing. So thank you for that. And just want to note that you guys are doing that on the regular, giving snacks, giving clothing, all the different needs that have been brought up. Mercy Church has been just radically generous. I feel just honored to be part of a community that's doing that so well. So thank you for loving others by serving others and caring for others through that donation process. Now, last up, we're going to talk about making disciples. Now, making a disciple is about us walking with someone in their faith, kind of walking side by side and encouraging them in their faith so they can grow closer to Jesus. So making disciples happens in many forms. But for you personally, I want you to think, where are you in that journey when it comes to walking with others? Is that on your radar at all? Are you doing that regularly with certain people? Do you want to, but you don't know where to start? Give some thought to that. And if you have specific questions, reach out, tim@mercychurchnh.com. That's my email. But I want you to really think about that topic. I realize I'm giving you some thought-provoking ideas this week in the weekly update. But I want you to think about that because we don't want it to just be a tagline. Oh, loving God, loving others, making disciples. Making disciples is about walking alongside somebody to help them grow spiritually. How are you doing that? How are you consciously, intentionally doing that? If you're a follower of Jesus, that's something he wants you involved in. Give that some thought. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.